Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 302. Oh, yes, sir. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. If you're trying to hear about some video games, you're trying to hear about some family time, you're trying to keep it positive, you in the right place. Welcome to Married to the Games. Thank you guys so much for being here, man. I am going to echo Chris from last week and spill the beans and tell you that I'm extremely exhausted.
Oh, no.
Extremely.
Did you sleep last night?
I did, but like when you're a parent, so sometimes what they don't tell you is that parenting sucks sometimes.
Oh, yeah. What?
So most of the time it's great. But last night was one of those nights where like Amara got a cough like 2 days ago.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
And like everybody had the cough last night. So you kind of like sleeping with one eye open. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was one of those nights. And those that have listened to this show a lot know that we record at 5:30 in the morning. And it is 5:30 in the morning. And I think the last time I saw the clock is like 2 something in the morning. So it's just like, oh, snap. But enough about me. Chris McCracken.
Yeah.
How are your kids, Chris?
Yeah. How are your kids? They keep you up last night?
No, they did not. My dog was good. But she has this cough, and I got it. No, I'm just...
She's just hacking.
It happens.
She's an old lady dog. So things over here on this front have been just busy. I think I had mentioned last week we had a lot of crazy stuff going on at work last week. So I worked a few late shifts last week. Not late as in late at night, but just where it was a long day where it'd be like 12 hours or something ridiculous. Just having a bunch of other things that we'd have to run around and do. And then this weekend was kind of crazy. So I think it was on Friday, Stacy, she had gotten home and she was outside with Ellie in the back, and I'm in the house, I don't know, doing something. And then she just walked in, she goes, okay, our neighbors just invited us over to go swimming in their pool. I was like,
really?
Oh, they did? And I was like,
do you know the neighbors?
We're gonna go swimming. Yeah, we know. Well, we've met them and we've chatted with them and stuff, but this was the first time that they'd ever like invited us over.
Oh, nice.
And so we ended up going over there and hanging out with them. And they actually had another one of the neighbors from across, across the street from where we both live. We're next door to each other. That neighbor was over as well. And so we got to finally mix and mingle with a couple of our neighbors. And it was actually really cool.
And they didn't try to sell you anything?
They didn't try to sell me anything. They didn't try to kill me. None of that craziness.
I tell you what, there's nothing like loving your neighbors.
Yeah.
It's the best.
And we honestly didn't have that at our previous home. The only neighbor that we really got to know and kind of get along with was our neighbor to the left of us. And she only moved in like about maybe a year and a half before we moved. Because that's the one thing about our last neighborhood is that it kind of felt like a starter neighborhood. So people were, moving in and then leaving in a year or two, like all the time. And then some of the houses were renters, and it just seemed like it was always moving. So it was like, well, I'm not going to take the time. It doesn't really matter.
Right. Yeah.
But this house, this neighborhood, like, is well established, and most of the people that are here have been here for like 20 years or something crazy. So we've been like, well, I feel like it's just inevitable that we're going to kind of get to meet some of our neighbors and kind of settle down a little bit more. So it was really nice, and the good thing about it is that we don't. At our previous home, we had a pool, but at this house we don't. And so Stacy's already like, the minute we got it, wheels turn. Okay, we got to start making the game plan so we can start putting in the pool at some point down the road, But our neighbors, like, when they invited us over, they have a pool, and they're like, look, you can come over anytime. He's like, you see this gate right here? I leave it unlocked. Just go in anytime you want.
Nice.
It's like, you don't even have to ask. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good, Stacy, right? So we don't have to put in the pool, right? Because we have access to one all the time. So that was a huge plus for me, and hopefully that, and it's it's got a deep end, like they had a diving board and everything.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, hey, so you get a little bit of the, float around and play the games or whatever over there, and then I can go over here and dive in real deep if I want. So it's really cool. I was really appreciative to them inviting us over.
Yeah,
and
that's
we finally
awesome.
got to go over there.
That is awesome. I love to hear that.
I think it was Friday. So Stacy's, I don't know what this would make her like in the legal jargon, but Stacy's cousin. So is that my cousin-in-law or something? I don't know how you say it. But anyways,
I think it stops after a little bit.
it does.
I don't think it's just their whole family in law. I don't think works.
I mean, I feel like that makes sense, but at the same time, I don't really know. So I'm just like, oh yeah, that's my.
Like it's not, I don't think it's your grandmother-in-law,
Yeah.
but maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know how far that goes.
know, right?
I don't either.
I think
so,
you had me at Stacy's cousin, so that works.
Okay, we'll go with that. Stacy's cousin.
Hey.
She messaged Stacy and said, "Hey, my toilet's leaking." And this is, she's a single mom with 4 girls.
Oh,
She's like-
boy.
She's like, "Do you guys or does Chris know anything about toilets?" And she's like,
You were
"Well,
like,
not
happens.
Yeah,
So
not
happens."
really. We did just replace a toilet, so he probably knows at least a little bit." And so I was like, "All right, I'll go over there and I'll take a look at this." And I went over there. And it ended up being based on kind of what she was saying, and I was like, "Well, we're just going to take this off," and I just ended up needing to replace the wax seal.
That's
I went
right.
over-
Oh, good job,
yeah,
man.
I just went over there and took care of that for her. Tested it all, and it seems to be working fine.
That's
So
a good man.
took care of that for them, and then on Saturday, took care of some things around the house in the beginning of the day, and then the evening we drove down to Austin because it was going to be one of my friend's birthday party. And actually, so it's weird because the birthday party was actually for his wife. But I had gotten wind from his kids that like, hey, we're actually going to do it. It's going to be like a co-birthday party. And so we're doing it for him as well. And so it was down in close to Austin or close to San Antonio, which I only found out about it like middle of last week. Apparently he had been trying to message me on Facebook Messenger, but I don't use that. So I hadn't seen the message. And so he finally reached out to me a different way. I was like, okay. I was like, well, that's originally it was just, we were just going to drive down on Sunday, stay for the party a little bit, and then drive back. But that's like 4 hours to get there and 4 hours back.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's the turnaround time is like, I don't know if I can make this all happen. But I was like, I started thinking about it. I was like, well, shoot. I feel like everybody's finding out about it that's up here that they were reaching out to. And I was like, I don't want him to go down there and it's like, oh, and this is also a co-birthday party for you. And like nobody's there that's really there for him, So I was like, well, I want him to have somebody there. And so I was like, I'm going to go down there. And then Stacy had some extra points for hotel. So we ended up going down Saturday night. We stayed in a hotel in Austin, got up like early and just like had breakfast and kind of took our time and then made our way over to where the birthday surprise party was going to be. And then had stayed for the birthday party and then left from there and then drove home. So it was like a lot of stuff this weekend that was just condensed and really jam-packed, like with the toilet and then the going to the neighbor's thing. And then, so needless to say, I've not really played hardly anything game-wise. The only thing that I did is last night I played a little bit of Overwatch with Ed and Stacy and a couple of other people and Drew. And then at one point over the weekend, at somewhere in there, I jumped into Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
It's part of Xbox Game Pass, and so I downloaded it with a handful of other games. And so I was just flipping through one night. I had about an hour, and I was like, I don't really want to play Overwatch right now, but I'm going to start something or just get into something. And that was one of the ones on there. I was like, okay, I'll give this a go. And so I started it, not very far in.
Nice. How'd you like it?
I mean, it's good. It feels like
It's
the other
what it
Tomb
is,
Raider. Yeah, it's not. I don't honestly feel like it's something I'm going to play all the way to the end, just because this is kind of just. I downloaded all these games and I'm just kind of trying to dabble with them until a newer game comes out. Plus, I have my whole goal similar to Gabe of I want to play 10 2018 games so I can have it like a top 10 and have it. So I don't want it to keep me from playing more current games. But at the moment, there's not really anything out that is that I really need to pay attention to. So I'm using this time to dabble with all these other games I can get through Game Pass or maybe PS Plus games or Games with Gold games that I hadn't really messed around with. So, I mean, I was enjoying it, but I don't know that I seriously doubt that I'll play it all the way to the end. And I watched a lot of Let's Play stuff of it. I think it was yours, Ed.
Okay.
So I pretty much know most of the stuff, so it's not like I'm robbing myself of the story necessarily.
Right,
I'm pretty
right.
familiar with most of it. Yeah, I just wanted to see the mechanics and the graphics, how it looks on. And it looks fine. I'm rocking the OG Xbox One, but it looks fine there. So
There you
been
go.
fun. Yeah.
That's great.
Sounds like
man.
you've been playing the real life version of The Sims.
Yeah,
I know, right?
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Which, speaking of, real quick, our friend Katie is really into Jurassic Park, and she downloaded that Jurassic Park that's kind of like a Sim City kind of thing where you build the park and all that kind of stuff. And Stacy's kind of like, I think I might be interested in that. So,
Really?
we'll have to
go.
see. She was getting them to tell her all about it. And she's like, maybe after I get back from vacation, maybe it'll be on sale somewhere and like, $10 off or something. And she might be grabbing it. So I will report back if she grabs it because I feel like it's the kind of game that she could get really interested in. So we'll just have to see.
Very cool.
Yep.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
Router,
Yeah, man.
what's going on with you?
Oh man, it's been kind of similar to Chris's situation, just adulting pretty hard this past week. We went up this weekend. We left on Saturday up to Philly to my cousin's wedding. It's my mom's sister, so my aunt's daughter. She has 3 daughters. This is the last one to be married, and it was just a really great time catching up with all my cousins. And Piper had a great time, and it was a lot of fun. We flew up on Saturday. Wedding was Sunday. Came back yesterday, and what was really cool was they live in Wilmington, Delaware, just south of Philly. I used to live in Philly. So yesterday we had a little family trip, and at about 10 o'clock in the morning, we drove up to Philly, went by my old house that I had lived in for 15 years. It was my grandmother's house, and went in and took pictures and just kind of took a stroll down memory lane, which was really cool. And then went into Philly and did some educational stuff. We went to the Liberty Bell, which when I was living there, I had never been to. And
What?
Yeah, we went
Really?
to Old City. I've never really hung around in Old City growing up. It was just one of those things I never did. And so we walked around Independence Square Mall. Didn't get to go into Independence Square, which is where they signed the Declaration, just because the tours had stopped. But it was really cool. We walked around. We did the Liberty Bell. We walked down to Betsy Ross's house and just did a little audio tour there. And it was just a really fun time. Piper had a really good time, and she learned something, which was great. And we were, on our way to the airport, we were like, man, that was a lot of fun. I'd come back here in a heartbeat. And it was really great. I hadn't been to Philly in a long time, so it was a lot of fun. It was good hang time with the fam.
Did you get a cheesecake?
A cheesesteak, you mean?
Cheesesteak? What'd I say?
Cheesecake.
A cheesecake?
The old Philly cheesecake.
Yeah, that old Philly cheesecake. No,
cheesesteak.
I did not. I did not get a cheesesteak. We were. I would have gone.
The old Philly cheesecake.
There's your title, dude, right there.
Gino's Philly Cheesecake.
Gino's
my
Philly
God,
cheesecake.
Seriously.
Oh, that's-
Ishkabibble's family cheesecake.
Whose cheesecake do you like better, Pat's or Gina's?
That's right. Exactly.
Gina's.
I would go to Jim's on
That's
4th and
funny.
South, by the way, but that's beside the point. So, no, I did not get a chance to grab a cheesesteak. So got back last night in the evening, and so it's nice to be back. And so now, yeah, just kind of adulting and life. And Piper doesn't have any camps this week, so we're just gonna toss her around to different people to keep her occupied.
I know that's right.
Gabe, you want an extra kid for a little while?
Sure don't.
Yep, nope, not at all. This is so funny. But
I mean, we could trade our 3 for your 1. if
yeah,
wanna
there
do
you
that.
go. There you go. I'll take it on. We're gonna, after the 4th of July, we are gonna go down to the beach with my in-laws, which will be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Get some beach time in. And yeah, so
Oh, yeah. 4th of July is coming up.
I know, I can't believe it. It's like right around the corner, and I'm like,
Golly, yeah.
I'm like, wow, already. So in the South, the summer's half over already, which is weird. And then school gets back mid-August. Yay!
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, it'll be crazy. On the gaming front, got that platinum for God of War, which I'm super
Nice.
excited for. Yeah, it was
Yeah, good job.
it was good. It was a grind out for a little while on a few
Yeah.
of those trophies, but it was totally worth it, and really enjoyed that game. And so now I'm back to Far Cry 5, and I'm shooting for that platinum. I've already gotten a couple trophies, and I haven't even
Nice.
finished the game or anything, but I'm just kind of looking at the trophies and trying to plan ahead, and because I definitely want to do it. I know there's some online and multiplayer stuff we've got to do, so I'll be hitting up the family be like, hey, help me out with this. Let's do this. And when we get to that, but I definitely want to continue on through the story because it's just been a while, and go from there. So yeah, man, just kind of boring right now. Just weddings and cheesecakes, and it's great. We're done.
Philly cheesecakes.
Philly
Not just any
cheesecakes,
cheesecake.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just any kind. Yeah. It's the kind with the cheese whiz.
That's right.
And just a touch of racism.
Just a slight.
No, that's only a Starbucks. That's just a Starbucks Philly cheesecake.
That's oh, that's amazing. Poor Gabe's tired. You could tell. That's incredible.
I know. So, I warned you up top.
Hey,
That's right.
well,
It's true, you did.
I'm not going to be the sharpest tool in the shed.
it's
today.
all good, man.
Or this morning.
It's all
Ugh.
good. So that's it for me. Back to you guys. Oh, and Clash Royale, by the way.
Oh, Clash Royale, of course.
Of course.
Ed, are you any more exciting than these guys who are playing
right.
Sims?
Give us
No,
something
man.
good, man.
He said, no, man.
Sarah was out of town this weekend. She had a beach body thing down in Indy, and so from Thursday until Sunday she was out. And I was like, "You guys, we're playing Overwatch all day, all weekend long."
That's awesome.
And instead, I played Lego Marvel's Avengers,
Hey! Change of plans.
and
Exactly.
there are 170 characters you can unlock,
Oh,
wow.
my gosh.
Really?
and 250 gold bricks you can collect. And I
Oh, my goodness.
100%ed it.
Yeah, you did.
What?
Well done, dude. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, Ed, that's amazing.
It's an old game. I mean, it came out when the movie The Avengers came out.
Wow.
And, I had a blast.
Yeah, you did.
I got to play a little bit of Overwatch, and it was funny because the couple times I did see Stacy on there, she was like, "Chris is real tired, you guys."
That's funny.
Last night, Sarah got back on Sunday night, and a friend of hers came back with her and spending a couple days with us. And so that's nice. They can hang out and kind of connect. She lives out west in Albuquerque, and so they've been able to just kind of chill out and hang out together. And the Tapmans came over last night and watched Nathan play some more of Detroit Become Human, and just having a blast. Again, watching him make completely different choices than I made and seeing what happens and how that affects the storyline. It's just so much fun.
Is it hard for you at all to not say, oh, go over there and get the XYZ?
No, and
Or
in
is it
fact,
easy to
there
kind of
was
sit back and...
yeah, I do better than I thought I did, because at one point he didn't do something he really needed to do, and consequences came, and Sarah's like, "Wow, Eddie, you are good," because I would have said, I wouldn't have been able to contain myself. Like, you need to do this, you need to do this.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, exactly.
And so yeah, I think I'm pretty good at being in the room with someone who's it's their first time and keeping a poker face. So it was kind of fun.
There you go.
But
Good for you.
as he didn't do it, I was like, oh, I can't wait to find out what goes wrong here. He really shouldn't have opened that door. So it was
exactly.
fun. And then late last night, we saw at E3 The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, and it came out for free. And
That's right.
dropped last night. And so right around midnight, I was like, I can't sleep. I'm going to try this game. Maybe it'll put me to sleep.
That's amazing.
And an hour later, I was like, you guys, it worked. I'm really tired now.
Nice.
Oh, man.
I wanted to give, it's the same people who did Life is Strange, and I wanted to give them, I was like, maybe it's just, I didn't like that Life is Strange storyline. I had some issues with some of the acting and the writing, and wanted to give them another chance. Maybe they're better with this kind of a thing. And it's very much not a walking simulator, because you're pretty much confined to the house, but it's like
Oof.
an inside the house walking simulator.
Ah,
Oh.
jeez.
Hey, why don't you just limit us a little bit more on where
Yeah,
we're going?
I know.
Again, I've only played an hour of it, but I am not excited to get back into it.
Shoot.
It shouldn't make a difference. It really shouldn't. But the lip syncing is the lips don't make vowel shapes. It's kind of like a ventriloquist dummy that the lips just go up and down, and that's not even timed really to the audio of the words.
Oof.
And for me, that really takes me out of the experience. So I'm trying to look past that and trying to get into it, because I understand what they're trying to do. It's a kid with an imagination who, entertains himself. And I kind of feel like that's what the game is asking you to do. Like, here's an okay game, but pretend you're really having a good time with it.
Oh, great.
And so I again, it's only an hour in. I hate to judge already, but I'm like, ooh, I think I know why this was free out the gate. So I may jump back into it just to give it another chance. But I mean, I've been playing Lego Indiana Jones as well, and I'd much rather jump into that.
Yeah.
Dog got it.
So yeah. I put that up on the YouTube channel, and maybe I'll jump in again. I don't know, but it didn't hook me. And, kind of after, we were talking a couple weeks ago, what's your college try before you step out of a game? I feel like with this game, at least, I may have reached that limit. We'll see what happens.
Ooh.
I know.
I hate to hear that.
I know. I really wanted to give it a second chance. I was going in with really low expectations, and I was thinking, okay, well, maybe with low expectations, I'll enjoy it. And it met my low expectations so far.
Doggone it, I hate that.
I know.
Well, at least it met that.
and I know a lot of people who, I was in the minority, I think, with Life is Strange. So I'm hoping that the people who really enjoyed Life is Strange, they may really enjoy this one. And it just might not be my thing. Or
did Life is Strange have the bad lip animation as well?
Yeah. So I was kind of hoping, well, it's a few years later. Maybe they've gotten a little better. Maybe they've, invested some of the money they made into animation.
and gotten some feedback maybe would be nice.
Yeah, but, and I know Life is Strange, a lot of people, they really enjoyed the story, and not much would deter them from that. And so I was easily deterred. So... hopefully the people who like that, I apparently am not a fan of Don't Nod, the company that made it. They just don't click with me so far. So we'll see what happens.
Shoot.
Yeah, you ain't finishing that game, that's for sure.
I know.
That was one of those things where, like, I saw it during E3 and there were some people that were excited. And to me, I guess my imagination just was like, meh. And so I hate that because I was hoping that it would kind of proved me wrong as well.
Yeah, well, I love the theme. Definitely. Yes. I mean, the theme is really nice, and it's positive, and that's great. But I was the same way. Game. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, it's you're a little boy who's living with an alcoholic, semi-abusive father, so it's like, okay, if I make this choice, you find one of those airsoft guns, and it's like, look at or shoot dad. And I'm like, well, why would I antagonize this guy who I know?
Exactly.
And then so I walked into the kitchen. It's like, do you want to do the dishes? And I was like, sure, I'll be a good kid. And I break a glass. And he yells at me. And I'm like, I don't need this stress in my life.
That's right.
It's 12:40 a.m. I'm going to bed.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
As you stomp off.
That's right.
Like a child.
Exactly.
That's funny.
So yeah, besides that, got in a little bit of Overwatch, and again, it's always fun playing with the community. I especially love the fact that we have such a great community. We talk about some really great things on the Discord, and I love that Overwatch has given me a chance to, if I happen to find someone in the community, and it's just us, where we can kind of go in deeper on what they may have brought up on Discord or in the chat, or if they opened up about something. It's really cool to just be able to, oh, this guy's on. Hey, how are you doing with this thing? And I just love that we can hang out with people like that. And
there you go.
It's really cool. I really appreciate that. So yeah,
I love that.
It was a good week.
It's great, man.
Nice.
Good.
All right. It's up to you,
yes.
Gabe. 3 sick kids. Man. That's what we got so far.
I know. Shoot. I'm trying to think. I was thinking about just making something up.
Yeah, bring it home. Let's go. And then we won the lottery.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I'm too tired.
Oh, good. Let's take a nap.
Exactly. So we were out on the road this last weekend. Judah. I called him Leo all weekend because him and his brother, Toby's youngest, they're like they were born really close together, and they're both little blonde-headed kids running around, good kids. And so Judah was on the road with us all weekend, and the thing that was fun about that was number one, he brought his Switch. Number two, he brought his Xbox, and the first thing he says when he sits down, he goes, I said, so how's Fortnite been? Because he was like, Fortnite addict.
Right.
And he goes, man, I don't even play Fortnite anymore.
Ooh.
And I was like,
Really?
And he was like, yeah, I'm done with that. And I was like, okay, well, what are you playing? He was like, I'm in love with a game called Overwatch.
Oh,
There you go. That's a good kid right there.
That is
tried
a
to tell
good
you.
kid. That's a good kid.
This weekend we were getting matched up for a while there. It took forever to find matches, and this weekend it seemed to go pretty quickly. And I was like, I kind of joked and said, I think everyone's coming back from Fortnite. So that's funny he said that.
Yeah, he said that exact thing.
Wow.
And so I was like, Judah, you have no idea how happy you made me just now.
That's right.
I was like, we talk about Overwatch all the time. I was like, the guys on the podcast love Overwatch. And I started talking to him about the league. He's never seen it. And so, and they keep it clean on there. So I feel like, you could tell anybody to watch the Overwatch league and you won't get in trouble from their parents.
Right.
And so the last thing I did is like, so you had Judah watching this thing and it was cussing up a storm in his bedroom.
Right.
You're like, you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. So the only thing that sucked was, like the road does, we had terrible internet all weekend. So he never got to play it. Like he had brought it and plugged it up and we were going to play Fortnite together. We never got to do that. But what was fun was in King's... So we were at King's Dominion the first day in Virginia. The second day in Kings Island in Ohio.
Right.
And then in Michigan the next day.
Oh, wow.
And Patrick Novosel came out
Yeah.
to Kings Island. So that was awesome. It was funny because I don't know if it was because I was running around, but he made the point of like, man, I kind of got time with all the guys except you. And I was like, well, here we are.
Let's do it.
We got to sit down and
Be careful
have
what you ask
lunch.
for.
Exactly.
Can you rub these feet of mine?
Exactly.
I'll give you a shiny quarter.
So me and him got to sit down over lunch. He's got passes to Kings Island, and he only works like 3 or 4 exits down from the theme park.
Oh, wow.
And so he just came over on lunch. Like, so it's like
awesome.
98 degrees and he's in jeans and a button-up t-shirt or a button-up shirt.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, we are not dressed for the weather. He was like, yeah, I'm dressed for being the boss today. So he came over and it was really cool. And so I got to show him the bus and how we live, on the road and just kind of hang out. He got to meet Toby because Toby had brought his lunch on the bus. And so we just hung out and all three of us talked for a little bit. So it was really cool.
Yeah, that's
It
cool.
was good to get to see him.
It was
Yeah,
funny.
man.
He told me about that while we were playing Overwatch this weekend, and he said, "Yeah, we were on the bus," and then he says, and then Toby came in, and I was like, should I go? Am I allowed to be here?"
That's so funny.
Yeah. So that was a good time.
That's awesome.
This weekend, we are like in North Carolina and Creation East, Edward.
Oh, yeah.
And then we play Fox and Friends on Friday morning,
Really?
which nobody's excited about only because like because it's so early.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think we have to
Right.
be there at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know how you guys do that. How anyone does that on those morning shows.
What is the
Me
lobby time
either.
on that one?
Yeah, I don't even want to look. And so we'll be going straight from Creation, driving into New York because Fox is like it's in the city. And so that'll be fun as long as people don't continue to hate us just for doing Fox and Friends. It's funny because like, the media is so polarizing.
No, it is?
Either you love Fox or you hate Fox, right? Nobody's like, I think Fox is all right.
I'll give Fox a try.
Exactly. And so Toby's been getting hit up on social media like, I can't believe you would do Fox.
Really?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And Toby's like, don't you want us everywhere? Like, shouldn't, like, especially as Christians,
right.
like, shouldn't we be able to, like, we've done The View as well. You know what I'm saying? And so,
man, do it.
That's definitely not Fox and Friends.
If you feel they need Jesus, maybe we should go talk to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom.
And it's funny because we're really, I don't know if this is completely true, but one of the big reasons we did The View is because Sherry and Elizabeth Hasselbeck are Toby Mac fans. And so we went and played The View for their birthdays, and then Elizabeth got fired or quit. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, whichever.
From The View, and now she's on Fox and Friends. So now she's like always pulling for us to go to Fox and Friends. And so I think Elizabeth Hasselbeck is probably the big,
that sounds
the
it.
bridge that brings us over. So, and then after Fox and Friends, we hop on a plane and fly to Dallas, and I get to see the McCrackens this weekend.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, I'm so excited.
That's so cool.
What's fun for me is that I thought we were like, usually when we have a show, we fly in sometimes the night before, but sometimes the day of, especially if the show's really late. But this time we're like flying in the evening. So like I'll be in town for dinner, and hopefully we'll get to like all hang out and eat together and stuff like that the night before. And it won't be like rushed like it's, been in the past. And so, and then our show in Dallas is not till 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, snap.
And so I told Chris, I was like,
that is way past Chris's bedtime.
I was like, I don't know if you want me all day, but you can have me all day if you'd like to, because I don't have a show till.
I'm so glad you guys get some real hang time. That's so cool.
Oh, me too. It'll be great.
And it seems he's flying into the airport that's closer to us rather than the further one. So
That's right, because usually we fly Southwest in and out of Dallas, and we're flying into DFW.
The old DFW.
So that'd be fun. I get to see the new house. I get to see the shed.
All right. The pool next door?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll bring my swim trunks.
Look at my shade and be like, oh, you ain't got AC? My shed's got AC. I ain't got there yet.
Exactly. So it'll be a good time. Last night we did a show here in Nashville. Not like a proper show, but Toby does this thing called Camp Electric where kids come in from around the country and they get taught all during the week from other band members and like just in Christian music. So, like our guitar player and bass player will teach, and then, you'll have some people from Casting Crowns and some people from Red or from, Skillet, they'll teach during the week. And so
that's cool.
Yeah, it's one of the funner shows, like just a little bit more loosey-goosey. And
very nice.
So we did that last night. That's why my voice is all struggling and half of the reason I'm tired.
Nice.
And so, so on the gaming front over the weekend, I didn't really get too much in. I did start up Fallout Shelter on the Switch.
Oh, cool. What'd you think?
I uninstalled it from the Switch as well this weekend. So here's the thing.
That's amazing.
I like it fine. Like, it's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
It has like there's a reason to keep going back to it. The fact that the time doesn't stop stressed me out a little bit.
Right.
So like, if you play it and then put it down and then I pick it back up, then like everybody's starving. We don't have any water and all the lights are turned out.
Everyone's dead.
And so, and so it's like, there was like an in-between. I wish that there was, and I know how those games work. Like I've played building sims where they're like, you can build this building. It's going to take 8 hours. Then you check back in 8 hours and there's your building. But this one, like, there was like a little bit of stress there for like, oh man, you really need to be checking in on this thing like every 5 minutes, it felt like.
Do they send you notifications or anything?
Not on the Switch. Maybe on your phone they do.
Yeah, I downloaded it on my phone as well. Again, just I know it's been free forever, but I was like, oh yeah, I'll download this real quick. And when I booted it up, one of the things was like, hey, do you want to allow us to send you notifications? I was like, nah, I ain't messing with all that.
We're going to just let them starve.
Yeah.
So that's really funny.
I like it, and I think if it's a game that you can just sit there and have open all the time, then it might be fun. But
Yeah.
for me, like trying to hop back and forth and just, like I'd go do the show and then come back and like start up my Switch. And everybody's like, oh, please, food. And you're like, oh, there's not like an auto collect I can, kind of switch on.
I mean, this game in particular is one of those games where I feel like it's one of the times where it's like, oh, this game's on consoles, but it's also on mobile, and I feel like it's just it's set up for mobile. So, for me, I almost feel like if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't even download the Switch. And I'm sure it's not a huge game, but it's like I don't even want to take up the space on my Switch because this feels like a game that's suited better towards the mobile side. Does that play into it at all? The whole fact that I don't know how big it is.
Definitely. I don't know how big it is either, but I just deleted it because I don't like looking at things that I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
Right.
And so even on my PlayStation, when I'm done with a game, I'll delete it off my PlayStation.
I should do that, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've got the OG hard drive too. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with like 500 gigs over here. So, so I mean, fun game. I know I'm late to the party. I never got it when it was on mobile, and so I didn't really know what I was walking into when it came to that side of things. So it is what it is. Been playing Pokemon Quest with the kids, where I think we're rounding the end of that. And so I don't know if there's another island you go to, but
oh wow,
we're working our way through it, and it's been fun. They love watching it. Remy asks for it all the time, and Mara really enjoys it. So it's that's fun to play with the family. And I think that's pretty much been it. Is just those two games. I've been looking for more and more offline games because this weekend just showed how much I'm tethered to the internet.
Yeah.
And so like even doing Clash Royale and everything this weekend was super spotty. And so I was like, man, I need to download some other games. So I got with Judah and he showed me like these two little fun games. One was called Flip the Gun and one was called Knife Throw or something like that for your phone. And those were fun. They're like just time wasters, something you would play on a plane, so those seem fun. But I mean, Clash Royale is still
it's still in your blood, man. Clan wars are fun, aren't they?
Oh my gosh, that's a great new thing they implemented for sure.
Yeah, it's great.
Where your clan goes up against 4 other clans, and you try to get the most trophies, and it kind of they're really good, like Blizzard kind of, and not to give them that much credit, but like that they add such great content. They're constantly bringing out new cards, constantly bringing out new ways to play. And so they really are good with the carrot on the stick thing. So if you jump in now, I think you'd enjoy it, of course, but I don't think you would appreciate it like me and Tim, who've played it since like vanilla. Right. You know what I'm saying? And since they've added all these cards and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just a great game.
It is a fun game.
All right. That's it for me. Router.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it!
All right, we got some new releases, and quite a few of them actually this week. The Crew 2 for the PC, Xbox One, and PS4 comes out.
You know what? I forgot to mention. I did download that beta and messed around with it a bit.
Yeah,
too.
so did I.
How was it?
I actually didn't mind the driving stuff. I don't care in the slightest for the boat and plane crap.
Really?
I don't like that at all. But the driving around in the car part was kind of fun, and I like the idea. And I've never played a crew game, so maybe this has been the case forever. But like you win loot for doing the race, but there's also random like little kind of loot things you can run over in the world. So if you find them, and then those can give you parts to upgrade your car. I thought that was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the driving felt good.
What car did you drive?
Well, that's the other kind of weird thing is you start out with your first race or so, you have a Porsche, and then you win this one race, and they say, oh, this guy's like, yeah, since you won this race, choose from any of these 3 cars. And it's like a Miata, some other little thing, and then it's a Mustang.
And a Ford Focus.
I chose the Mustang. But still, it's like, I was just in a Porsche.
You're in a Porsche, man.
Why? But now you could be in a Kia Sorento.
That's right.
Oh, of course.
Enjoy this Mini Cooper.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I would have had to do the Miata only because I used to own one and raced it all the time.
Nice. Back in your crew days.
Mm-hmm. Back in the Crew 1.
the crew OG. That's awesome. All right, so the Crew 2's out. We also have Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle Donkey Kong Adventure for the Switch. There's a couple of Switch ones coming up. We'll hit you up in a little bit. World of Tanks Mercenaries for Xbox One, 360, and PlayStation 4. Nier Automata Become
I
as...
wonder if that's free. Because World of Tanks was always free, wasn't it? And then I wonder if
like
these new iterations, I don't know if these new iterations are free as well.
It might be. Nier Automata Become as Gods Edition for the Xbox One. As Eduardo has said, the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit.
Not that awesome.
For the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. No, check it out. PlayStation Hits starts this week, or I don't know if it starts, but they're releasing a ton of games for PlayStation Hits. Bloodborne, Doom, Yakuza 0, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ratchet & Clank, Street Fighter 5, Uncharted 4, and Battlefield 4. So that's...
Wow.
I think they're all rather steeply discounted, I think.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus for the Switch.
That's right. Should I, Ed, do you think the Switch can do that?
I'm not familiar enough with the Switch to... All I can compare it to is like if you had played it on the Wii, and I don't know.
Gabe,
I'm
have
gonna
you
say
played very much FPS style stuff on the Switch at all, or anything at all?
No.
So when we were at 300, I didn't really like play your Switch, but I picked it up for just a minute and was just toying around, and I
changed all the settings.
Yeah, exactly. I changed everything around. I don't know if it's just me and my little bitty time that I had with it, but I don't feel like the sticks, like they feel in a way very similar. They feel like Vita sticks, except you can click them in. It's like, I don't feel like this would be good for an FPS game or something where you need precision at all.
That's what I kind of feel the same way. I mean, just because they're so little, but I never know if it's that they're small or my hands are just really big, because my hands are really big.
Yes to both.
And so exactly. It could be a mixture for sure.
Because that's the same thing with the Vita. Like, there's been times where I've remoted in, like maybe I'm in the house or whatever and do remote play, and I'll play like Overwatch or Destiny on the Vita. And outside of missing a couple of the buttons, like even just the aiming, it's like it's so much faster and it's just so hard. I'd have to really dial down the sensitivity for it to make any sense. And this is like, man, well, this is unfortunate. I thought this was going to be like a banging way to play FPS on the go.
Yeah, there you go.
I just didn't feel like it was.
It might just be something you have to get used to.
Yeah, and I'm sure if that's where you played the majority, I bet you could get used to it. And when you dial in the settings for that, it probably isn't too bad, but I was a little disappointed.
And at least we got both shoulder buttons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I would assume you'd have to dump your memory just to fit the game onto it.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how big it is, but...
Yeah, I wonder if they... Because I don't think they install on the Switch. I think they play off the cartridge. I can't remember.
Okay.
No, I think... Well, actually, I don't know. I feel like I heard they install, but I don't know if when that's pertaining to the cartridge side.
They do install. Like, there's definitely like an installation process, but I don't know if it's as...
Just like a launcher?
I don't know if it's as... Yeah, I don't know if it's as steep as like
disc?
when they do it on PlayStation and Xbox. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, give it a try if you want to.
Nope.
Okay, good. Moving on. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for the Switch, PC, and Xbox One. Call of Duty World War II United Front. Looks like we got some DLC for that. Spectrum for the PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. Figment for the Nintendo Switch. If you want to get your bicycle on, Tour de France 2018 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Brawl Out for the Nintendo Switch.
Brawl Out. Brawl Out.
I got you.
Thank you.
Paranautical Activity for the Nintendo Switch. That's all you, Gabe.
You know.
Yeah, that's right. The
Get my
Blob.
paranautical activity on.
Get your Ghost Shark on.
Get your Ghost Shark on. The Blob for the Switch. Lumines Remastered for the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And Trove Geode for the PS4, PC, Xbox One. Tons of riveting games there. No oops this week, which was awesome. But guess what? We have MPD for May. I'm very excited.
So we did have one oops. And I think it was somebody talking about I don't remember exactly how we phrased this, but they were saying that the host country, which will be hosting the World Cup in a couple years, does automatically get into the World Cup. I don't remember if we said that we didn't, but I don't know if we said that we did either. You know, I think we kind of made the joke of like, we might not get to play even when it's at home.
Right. I think you still have to qualify, to be honest.
Nah, not when you're hosting.
Nah, Doc.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
The joys of being the host.
Hey,
you get that free pass.
It's been fun watching the World Cup. I've been watching most of the games, and so we're getting close to the knockout rounds. It's getting pretty fun. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Poor Messi, right?
What's that?
Poor Messi.
Yeah, man. They gotta step up.
For who?
What are you saying?
No, he's an Argentinian
Oh, that's a
player.
player's name. Okay.
Messi,
I was like, what are you saying?
Lionel Messi's like one of the greatest players of.
He's not just a player.
Yeah.
He's like the best player in the world.
Yeah, he's quite
Is he
amazing.
having a rough go or something?
Yeah.
Well, they haven't won yet.
Oh.
Right. But they have to win
soccer's
today.
a team sport. So
if they don't win today, I think they play today against Nigeria. If they don't win, I think they're out. I think.
Yeah, but even if they win, I think they have to have like a bunch of stuff go right for them to.
Right. There's a couple other teams that have to lose.
Because it's a point-based system.
Yep.
For those that don't know. So you play a bunch of games, and like if you get a draw, it's a certain number of points. If you win, you get a certain number of points. If you lose,
really,
maybe you don't get any points, something like that.
Right.
And so, and then the people at the bottom get knocked out as they move further into the rounds.
Yeah, a tie gives you 1 point, a win gives you 3 points, and then you also have goal differentials. So if you've scored a lot of goals, then like say I scored 4 goals against the team and they didn't score any on us, that's a +4 goal differential. Mm-hmm. So that's a positive thing, especially if you're tied, they take your goal differential.
That's right.
Yeah, they take your goal differential.
How much do they take into consideration all the flops? I've got a +12 flop differential.
+12 flop difference. That's an it's a new
funny
style.
You say that. They have this thing this year called the virtual assisted referee or something like that.
The VAR. Yep.
And so people have been flopping, and they've been, the guys on the field have been, they'll maybe call it a foul, and then the virtual, assistant referee or whatever it stands for is like, actually that was a flop, so it wasn't a thing. So
and then the other guy gets fouled for flopping. So
exactly,
which is great.
So there you have it.
Yeah, nice. I'm a big fan of it. I think it's come in handy
big fan of
numerous
flopping
times.
Or the anti-flopping measure.
The VAR, the virtual assistant referee, has been pretty good. Anywho, so yeah, we've got MPD for May. This is U.S. only, so this is a domestic for us. Overall, the game industry was up 13% year over year in May, generating
13%.
Yep.
Wow, still climbing.
Generating $685 million from May 2017's $607 million, according to the industry tracking firm, the NPD Group. The growth is thanks mostly to hardware and accessories, as software sales were down 4%. So we have $685 million, up 13%. Hardware up 26% with $186 million. PC and console software down 4% at $274 million, and accessories up 30% at $225 million. Anywho, let's do this. Software. So that would be games. Top 10 games. Here we go. Number 10, NBA 2K18. Number 9, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
No way.
Yep. Number 8, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Yep.
Number 7, here's one, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Number 6, GTA 5.
No way.
Number 5, Chris's favorite, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Keep on going down.
Keep on going down. Just keep dropping that level. Number 4, Far Cry 5. Number 3, making its debut, Detroit Become Human.
Look at that.
Good for them.
Number 2, God of War.
Ooh, only one console on that one.
Yeah, number 1, State of Decay 2.
Wow.
I forgot that even came out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did jump into that too, and then promptly deleted it.
There you go.
Oh, why?
It just wasn't for me. I mean, I was playing solo, but it maybe it could be that I'm on the original Xbox One, but didn't seem to handle. It wasn't horrible, but it was weird and it just doesn't look good. And
Really?
I'm not huge into zombies, so it's like, well, you got to hook me here pretty quick.
Right.
And then it's a little bit different than what I expected. So you have to build a community, and you have to kind of like keep the community happy and go forage for food for the community. I was like, I'm not about all that.
Let them
I just
starve.
wanted to run
It's
around
fine.
and kill things and try
There
to
you go.
survive.
Mm-hmm.
So the Undead Labs who did it, they did well. It was May's bestseller, and it sold almost twice as many copies as its prequel, State of Decay. A little less than a month after its launch, Microsoft announced at the Electronic Entertainment Expo that it had acquired the studio. Yeah, we've heard of that, haven't we? Quantic Dreams Detroit had a terrific launch, placing third. Detroit's success contributed to Sony's bragging rights as the best-selling publisher of the month, along with God of War, which is now the second best-selling game of the year. Though Sony was on top in May, Ubisoft continues its reign as the top earning publisher year to date. And Activision Blizzard has generated the most revenue in the last 12 months.
Wow.
Hardware, here we go. Sony's PlayStation 4, Microsoft's Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch all achieved all-time unit sales high for a May month. Previous highs were May 2016 for the PlayStation 4, May 2015 for Xbox One, and May 2017 for the Switch. Sony continues to pull ahead, however, because of its breadth of options with the low prices, the PS4 Slim that comes in a variety of makes and models, and PS4 Pro, and regular exclusive game releases like God of War and Detroit. The PlayStation is the best-selling hardware platform of 2018 year to date. But here's a weird one. On a SKU basis, which means a single console package or bundle, the Switch 32-gig Neon system was still the bestseller in both unit and dollar sales. I don't understand that. I'm kind of confused.
That isn't my brain. I can't.
Right? On a SKU basis. So it's just a single console package or bundle. What the heck does that mean? How is that different?
So does that mean just the one? Like just
the hardware, maybe,
one?
I guess? Yeah.
Yeah.
What does neon
PS4,
mean?
So the controllers, you can get gray or you can get neon. Or I think there's one other color that they introduced. So maybe they're saying that Sony's PS4 sold the most consoles across the varieties, the different varieties.
Yes.
But as far as just one product,
yes, that's what
the
it
neon
sounds like.
one sold the most.
Yeah, because they're saying on a SKU basis, so it's just a single SKU. The Switch has a single SKU, and no bundle or I guess or anything. No, it says a single console package or bundle. So it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but good on the Switch. That's great. Good for them.
Exactly.
Right?
Good on the Switch. I mean, any good for gaming, as long as we're still selling stuff.
And we are selling the stuff, man. $685 million in May.
No.
That's good. I think we're not going anywhere anytime soon. So that's a good thing. So so I appreciate it. So it's good stuff. That's it for MPD. That's it for new releases. Back to you,
Chris McCracken.
All right, so we saw at E3 that Forza Horizon 4 was announced, and I believe that you can pre-order it for I guess Xbox and PC right now. I know it definitely is for PC. And so one PC Forza fan had pre-ordered on PC and found out that the game started downloading data onto his system right away. And he ended up getting some of the game files that showed the entire roster of more than 450 cars. And I guess this is a big, they try to keep the car list hush-hush, throughout the way. Really? So he just showed it all off online. And then they actually, for the Twitter account for Forza Motorsports, actually tweeted out about it. And they said, quote, "Today, some of you noticed that Forza Horizon 4 game files started preloading on your PCs. This was not intended, and you don't have to do anything. The final game will download automatically when it is released, and if you'd like, you can safely uninstall the download files." So the one thing about this is that, again, like I was saying, that the list seems to be something that people really always want to find out about and see what cars are on there. And it's pretty much was to be expected. The games are or the cars that are on there. One thing that I saw that I guess is another thing that Forza people have been a little bit up in arms about since Forza Horizon 3 is that there's a lack of Toyota vehicles on there. There's only pickups, and apparently people are like, "Why? It's Toyota and the car's not on there."
Yeah, where's the freaking Camry at?
Come on now. I want that SE. That's what Stacy drives, so that's totally what I would drive if it was on there.
SE.
So, I mean, I think it's cool. The other thing is that this list is not completely confirmed. So they're saying, look, just because this list is there doesn't mean that some of these cars will. Some of them may not be there. Some of them may be held back for to be part of DLC stuff. So it's not a guarantee that when the game finally does launch here in a couple of months, that will have 450 cars, bam, right out the gate. But still, it's one of the things that how the internet loves to see leaks and loves to find out information they're not supposed to know.
Yeah.
And so they were kind of excited to find out that, hey, this stuff leaked early, and we can comb over this list of cars. Forza Horizon 4 is actually one of the main reasons, outside of it being on sale, that I signed up for Game Pass. Because I wanted to play Forza Horizon 3, but it stayed $60 for 2 years. I'm like, nah, man, you put that junk on sale, I'm not paying full price for a 2-year-old game.
I know.
Right.
So this time I'm like, all right, look here, I'll get it with my Game Pass subscription.
There you go. Some great news coming out of Telltale Games.
Oh.
Telltale. They are ditching the Telltale Tool engine. The engine that they've used to build all their games, they're ditching it.
Hallelujah.
Too little, too late.
Is that
the
too little, too
clouds
late?
Parted. So they're moving over to the Unity engine, which, is incredibly popular.
Thank you. Should have done that in the first place. Just saying.
Could have started there. But the first games that'll be on the Unity engine will be the Wolf Among Us Season 2 and the new Stranger Things game that we talked about.
So do you think this means they're just now announcing that they're moving to it, or you think they've been working with it a while? Because if they're just now doing it, man, Wolf Among Us 2 is way behind.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine that they're
just now
I would imagine that
it?
they started on theirs and switched engines. That's why Wolf Among Us 2 is probably getting pushed back.
Agreed.
I bet that's why.
This is good. I'm happy. Chris, I think you're right, though. Too little, too late for probably some people. But the Unity engine's great. So many games are on it anyway. I pray that it just cleans up everything and doesn't make it so like the way it always does.
Exactly.
So let's just make sure that let's just make our games nice and flowy and not have these issues anymore.
Yeah, and I still can't believe, I'm still shocked that Wolf Among Us 2 is not coming out till next year. That just seems crazy. But maybe it was just too big for their, the engine that they had going. And so, I mean, I'm glad that they switched. I mean, it does feel like it's too late.
If they knew for a while, though, that they were going to be switching engines, maybe they purposely okay, let's hold off and make this one of our shining examples of, and the new engine. Wolf Among Us 2.
Yeah, but it's not like Unity just got here. So it's like, why not have started on that a year ago? But maybe...
Well, there for a while, they had so many games in development. I'm sure it would have been hard to... switching engines, is even if it's one that's established, seems like a big to-do. I'm not a don't make games, but that seems like that's a big deal.
No, they did say that it was going to be... that it was overdue and that it was a tough transition.
Yeah.
So...
And I feel like I've heard that
that.
Lots of games use Unity, so clearly overall it's a great one. But I've heard that Unity can be a bit buggy when you're starting out with it and everything as well. So it probably is taking them a little while to get used to it, just to the fact that it's new to them in general. And then on top of that, if it typically has a few issues for newcomers to that system.
Yeah, well, you hope that they're not actually newcomers. You know what I mean?
Well, I just mean to that system. Because everyone's going to be a little bit different. I get.
But they did put up some job postings asking for people that were already well established.
Yeah, like Unity mains.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a few Unity mains,
right?
Exactly. What else you got, Chris?
So Bethesda is suing Warner Brothers and Behavior Interactive over their new Westworld mobile game.
Oh, yeah.
Because they claim that it copies parts of 2015's Fallout Shelter, which is now available on the Switch and other consoles.
Yeah.
So basically, Bethesda had hired Behavior in 2014 to help develop parts of the Fallout Shelter game. And they're basically just saying, look, this game is a blatant ripoff, And there's things that not only design choices that are similar, but gameplay mechanics that are similar. And on top of that, there's even bugs in the Westworld game that were present in the Fallout Shelter when it launched before they were fixed. It's like, so this is really just like they just took our game that they were making for us and took some proprietary code from us, and they just reskinned it, and that's how they were able to put this game out so quickly, because they basically just reused the stuff that we paid them to make for us and that's supposed to be under our control.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and I had not even heard of this Westworld game, so I've only looked at the screenshots, but when you look at the screenshots, you can definitely tell, yeah, this is very reminiscent of Fallout Shelter style-wise. I mean, I wouldn't see it I don't know that I would immediately be like, oh my gosh, this is a blatant ripoff, but the more you kind of look at the two, it's like, oh yeah, they are pretty similar. And then when you find out that they're done basically by the same developer, it's like, yeah, I feel like Bethesda's going to have a pretty strong case here. And the bug thing is the biggest one. It's like, how can you make a game, fix bugs, and then make a new game with that same stuff and not fix the bugs or let them still be present, the exact same ones.
Right.
It's like, really? I mean, they must have just been working as fast as they could to get it out, but still.
Yeah, and is that the TV show thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Westworld is an HBO show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Has something to do with Westerns, but not really, and kinda, but not. I don't know. I don't know about it. I don't watch it.
Jeez.
I just hear there's a lot of nudity. It's like, well, that's HBO, so that's the way they do things.
I got you. So there's a new, I guess you would call it a peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I love it when you say that word, by the way.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
That's been getting crowdfunded for the Switch.
Oh yeah.
It's called the Flip Grip. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know this, but because I haven't clicked around, I guess, enough, but Nintendo's Arcade Archive, I didn't know could be played in vertical mode. And so I guess they have a bunch of games that, obviously when you hold the Switch, it's in landscape. And so it makes these older games really small because they got to squish them into the middle of the screen. Mm-hmm. And Kickstarter, Flip Grip went on a Kickstarter, and it's really a holder. And so you can put your Switch down in there vertically and then put your Joy-Cons on either side. And they've asked for $42,000. And right now, they have 13 days to go, and they've raised $91,000.
Wow.
And so that's really great. And it's only $12, which, when it comes to accessories and stuff like that, that's a pretty good price coming off of Kickstarter and everything like that. So $12 for one, or $24 for two. And it looks like it holds your Switch really securely, and you can, flip it vertically and play games like that, which I didn't even know was a thing.
So for these arcade games, or I guess any of the games that you would turn vertically, maybe this isn't a big issue, but it looks like from the picture anyways, that if any of the games utilize the top shoulder buttons, it feels like in that vertical way that it would kind of impede you hitting those buttons correctly. Does it look that way?
No, because you're still just holding the Joy-Cons off to the side. The shoulder buttons are on the Joy-Cons themselves, so it's not like...
Yeah, but I mean,
seems to me like all the buttons
I don't
would be
even
okay.
have massive hands or anything, but when you're hitting those shoulder buttons, you're typically not touching the little tips of them. Usually your finger's laying across it, and it feels like it would hit against the screen. But I don't know, maybe it's down below the screen. The screen's actually raised above it a little bit. I'm not exactly sure. That's the only thing that I thought. I was like, I wonder if that would impede that.
Classic games, I don't even know if you use them.
Yeah, that's true. Like those arcade ones, it's probably just the D-pad and the buttons.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not going to play. I don't know what's on there again, but if you're playing Galaga, then you're only going to need one of the face buttons without So I thought that was kind of cool, and I love that.
Do you have any interest in getting one?
No, but I like that. I like that when there's a good idea, that the internet has a place to go, like Kickstarter or Indiegogo, where you can be like, hey, we invented this thing, and it's not licensed by Nintendo or anything like that. It's a third-party thing where, I don't know how they're making them, but and then you can get double what you asked for. And, if it's a good idea, Kickstarter and those let you know by, backing your product. So
that's the thing.
I think it's really cool. And I think it's, yeah. And I think that it's really cool that they made it affordable. You know what I'm saying? They could have easily made this like $20 or $30 and it'd be like, hey, we're the only ones on the market that do this, so you have to pay it. But but they didn't. $12. I don't know. it almost made me want to get it, like you were just saying, but like I don't see myself playing those games or carrying around another thing that goes with my Switch. But I didn't realize, I guess, that anyone would set up their Switch vertically. So I think I didn't even know that this was an option. So
I didn't know that
is.
there were games that played that way.
Yeah, but like they show the whole breakdown of how they're making it. And it looks like well made. You know, it looks like the Joy-Cons fit in there well. It looks like they're easier to slide on and off than they are on the actual Switch.
And the best thing that could come from it is for the people making it anyways, is if Nintendo sees like, hey, this is pretty popular and they did a good job, so we're going to buy a license for this and we're going to make it or something. You know, that could be a great deal for them.
That'd be a ginormous deal.
Or Nintendo could just make it and sue them and say, you can't make stuff for our product or something crazy. Who knows?
I don't think you can do that. Can you do that?
I don't know.
think so.
Who knows? It's business.
It is business.
I don't do business.
What else you got, Christopher?
So this last week was the NBA draft, and there was a gentleman named Kevin Knox. He's a 6'9" small forward from the University of Kentucky.
Yeah,
small
only
forward?
in basketball is 6'9" small.
Exactly, right? And he was taken by the New York Knicks in the 9th pick in the NBA draft on Thursday. And to celebrate, he was, they take photos and everything like that. And he had the inside of his jacket lined with Fortnite. It's basically, it says Fortnite.
Wow.
And there was some media that had reached out to Epic and said, hey, did you guys collaborate with him on this at all? And they're like, nope. It was just
we're
him.
suing him.
And he was like,
I'm
he said, no, I'm just a big fan and I want to celebrate on draft night. If I got picked, I wanted to show off that I love Fortnite. And so he opens up his jacket and lined on the inside of it, it says Fortnite. And I think it has his gamer tag right there as well.
That's hilarious.
You know what's crazy? That was a big thing this draft. A lot of people had the inside of their
did they really?
done. Not in Fortnite.
But just with something something specific.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think
Fortnite's
that's cool.
taking over, boy.
Yeah, it is. Well, except for
Except for
Toby,
Judah.
yeah, Judah. Toby's
Yeah.
boy. He's done with that.
Yeah, go to Overwatch, baby. I can't remember who his main is. Doggone it. He asked me, he was like, who's your main? I was like, May or Moira. And he was like, ooh, she's hard. And I was like, yeah. And I can't remember whose his was. We talked about this a couple months ago, and it is becoming a reality this Friday.
Woo.
The NES Classic is coming back to retail stores.
This Friday?
This Friday, June 29th. Just in time for payday.
Just in time for Gabe and Chris to go to the GameStop.
Heck yeah, baby. Let's go
look
get
at
it.
Let's go. There you go.
I wanted that one even more than the SNES Classic because of Punch Out. I just wanted easy access to Punch Out.
Such a good game. Yeah. So yes, the GameStop, they said they'll have at least
5 per store.
Right?
They said not far off. They said 10.
Oh
No.
At least
Lovely.
10 units per store. Although some locations may have a bigger stock.
They may have 11.
Exactly.
Wow.
$60. And it's only available in limited quantities, so you can't go buy all 10. And they said they'll have them on the website. This is all things they said the first time around. But hopefully, I feel like the SNES wasn't as hard to get a hold of. So hopefully they've learned and the NES won't be as hard to find. I'm guessing it will be. Me and Chris will let you know on Friday.
Yeah.
I was driving through our little Indiana town the other day and went by a little plaza that I hadn't gone by in years. And I was like, we have a GameStop? I was super impressed and then realized, no, it's GameSpot.
Oh,
So
what?
That's the
Yeah.
name of the...
the name of the store is GameSpot.
Like the website?
They're going to get sued.
I don't know.
Yeah, can you do that?
I don't know. I thought they were.
I guess.
I didn't realize there was a GameSpot website. I just thought they were trying to do GameStop, but not do GameStop.
Yeah, GameSpot is a huge media.
GameSpot's where I get all the new release information from.
That's funny.
But
Well,
here's
did you
the
go
thing.
in there?
They're
I did
probably
not.
like a little mom and pop, and so someone from GameSpot's got to go and see that they exist. And you're like,
Yeah,
we're gonna
right.
sue you.
Yeah, that's funny.
Man,
I did not go.
you got to
in,
go in
though.
there and tell us what it is.
Yeah, I just kind of drove by and it looked kind of like, oh, they've got shelves in there that has like 2 things on each shelf.
Oh, geez.
Oh boy.
It's not a big operation at all.
Is it a? So here's the question, because they can only get sued. I think this is the way this works. If it's video game related.
Oh, I'm
If
pretty
it's
sure
like
it is.
If it's sports related, then I don't think. I
Oh,
think
really?
you can. I think you can claim like, hey, we're not in the same realm.
Is that real? Because
things.
like you couldn't make like, well, and maybe because Disney makes everything. I was gonna say you couldn't make Disney jewelry, but there is Disney jewelry.
True.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know how legal it is to like make an
Interesting.
iced out Mickey Mouse silhouette.
I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah. What else you got, Chris?
The last thing that I have, and it's just a quick little thing that I found interesting, but the new Assassin's Creed Odyssey that's coming out this fall, you're going to be able to choose between two characters, Alexios, I think is how you say his name, and then Cassandra. And it turns out that the Cassandra character is the one that's going to be canon to the series. So you can
not
play
the guy.
either way. Yeah, you can play either way, but they're also going to have a novelization version of the story as well, and just in the line of the series of games. And that the heroine Cassandra is the actual canon character, and in the novel, that's who the story is going to be based around, not the guy.
Wow.
The only thing that was a
Interesting.
little crazy about that, though, considering this bit of news, is that they also released 5 special editions, and one of them is a collector's edition, and it looks like the statue on the collector's edition is the guy attacking someone else. It doesn't look like Cassandra to me.
Well, what the heck?
Yeah, so I was like, well, that doesn't really follow consistency. But it could be wrong. I didn't get a super detailed look at it. It's just a small picture on the internet. So I was like, it could be her because they're wearing armor and they both have skirts. So I don't really know. but it looked like the rest of it looked all manly to me. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Interesting.
There you go.
But I did think that was a cool little tidbit.
Yeah.
That's interesting. They would declare one not canon when they've pretty much abandoned the whole animus thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I
You're
thought
like,
about that
what's canon?
too, but I was like, well, it's the language they're using, and those words mean things
so
in
funny.
the real world. So,
Jeez Louise. I like it. So if you ever get stressed out by playing Fortnite because you feel like it's you versus everyone, or you're slow to build and you're trying to get your mechanics down, but you don't really get any time in the lobby before you jump on the bus, they got a new playground mode coming out that's got unlimited respawning, which is great. And so there's not going to be that urge to have to do everything quickly. So you'll be able so the treasure and the ammo crates will still be there. There's an increased resource generation, so I'm guessing when you're hacking away at the trees or the buildings, you'll get more wood and metal and things like that, so you can kind of take your time a little bit. So they announced this in May, but Epic said, this represents our initial step into what a creative mode looks like in Fortnite. Practice, strategize, and enjoy yourself. We can't wait to see what you do. So one of the things that people have been saying is that you're going to be able to get in there and just build these crazy, kind of like Minecraft, like build these crazy things. Not that people will be able to come see it, but you'll be able to build these crazy structures because you kind of have all this time on your hands. And you can practice with your friends. So right now, when you're on the team with somebody, you can't shoot them. But in this mode, even if you're squatted up, friendly fire will be on, so you can shoot the people that you're in the squad with.
There you go.
So people will be able to strategize and learn how to do things faster and stuff like that. Because that's always been a thing for me for Fortnite is like, I don't love the building mechanic, but if it's going to be there, I'd love to practice it. But it's really hard to practice while you're getting shot at.
and I didn't pull this for the news stories. I just saw it in passing somewhere, or maybe it was on Twitter, but I feel like I saw them say something about it's possible they'll be removing the building mechanic as well.
What?
Yeah, or that
That's
later down
Fortnite.
the road that it would be removed, or there'd be a game mode where it wouldn't exist or something like that. I feel like I saw that.
I can see a game mode where it doesn't exist, but I can't see them taking it. It's too much their bread and butter.
That's like Tomb Raider saying no more bow and arrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
Exactly.
I know I
Yeah,
saw
it
that.
seems
I
like
gotta
it's like a foundational thing for them.
That's what sets them apart.
Exactly. Well, for right now, until everybody starts copying it,
know,
like
right?
Battlefield.
That's true.
Or is it Battlefield that added that building mechanic, Chris, that I sent you?
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm curious about what that is because like you played Call of Duty World War II. You know how in the war mode in particular, like when you're going and then you can lay down and you can build a structure, but it's not the same as like it is in
just randomly being able to build.
So it's in an area and you can build like a little blockade for the tanks or whatever. I'm curious if it's more akin to that than it is.
Yeah,
you
can kind of see in the video where there's sandbags laid down. And so it could be at just certain points where you can do it.
Yeah, if it's like that, I don't have a problem with it. But if it's like you're running around and I'm pulling out a map and now I've got this pin and I'm building a wall, it's like I don't want that crap.
You're like, nah, Doc. Nah. Yeah, we see you. Yeah, I got you. Edward.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Well, over on the old YouTube channel, as I mentioned a little earlier, we've got the first hour of the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit.
Woo! Riveting.
So, if you're having trouble sleeping, check it out.
Play that one.
Looking at our top 10 YouTube videos combining average watch time and views for the week of June 18th through the 24th. Number 10, Watch Dogs 2 Part 48, Ghost Signals. Number 9, Hue Part 9, Mountains. Number 8, Hue Part 7, Yellow. Number 7, Hue Part 4, Pink.
Wow.
Number 6, Drawful 2 gameplay.
Hi, there we go.
Number 5, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
Trolling them. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
You got React Rolled. Number 4, Hue Part 10, University.
React Rolled.
React Rolled. Well played.
Number 3, Hue Part 11, Ending. Number 2, Watch Dogs 2 Part 19, Paint Job. Number 1, Ori and the Blind Forest Part 14, Thornfelt Swamp. Would you like to hear a new iTunes review, you guys?
Yay!
Oh, is there an iTunes review?
There's a new iTunes review.
Would love to.
Yes. Oh, let me get my hot cocoa and start my fire. I'm just kidding.
All right, sounds good.
Wrong time.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
The subject, positivity and community in the world of internet gaming culture. It can't be real.
Ooh.
And this is by Remake Yourself, who I believe is Jeff Swan.
Oh,
Nice.
Jeffrey.
Excellent.
I think that's his Twitter handle.
I think you're right.
Maybe so.
He sounds cool. He should come to one of the Century episodes.
Nah, he's never been to one of them.
He writes, are you looking for a hard-hitting, critical insight focused on the controversial world of video games? Keep on scrolling.
Nice. Nice.
If you're looking for a breath of fresh air in the crowded world of video game podcasts, you've come to the right place.
Hey.
Married to the Games is a weekly topical gaming podcast hosted by 4 great personalities who are not industry pundits, who do not have inside information, and definitely do not live on the bleeding edge of every weekly release.
That's right. Ain't that the truth?
That is very true.
What these guys bring instead is a sense of community, positivity, and celebration of gaming, even when our lives primarily revolve around kids, wives, and 9-to-5s. Gabe, Tim, Chris, and Ed all come from varied walks of life and open up about not just their adventures in gaming, but also the reality that some weeks you're finished with all of the week's releases and have 47-part Let's Plays already posted on the YouTube channel.
That's very true.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes your only escape into the virtual world is a few minutes of peace while on the porcelain throne with Clash Royale, where only the bathroom door separates you from a world of screaming children, honey-do lists, and taxes.
Mine's a sliding door even.
Yep, there you go.
That thing doesn't lock.
MTTG is built around a fantastic and engaging community that gushes optimism and a desire to celebrate, not criticize our favorite hobby.
Come on, baby.
While keeping up to date with the industry from the standpoint of the everyday gamer. And it's a wonderful weekly voyage into the lives of 4 people who, despite the realities of middle-aged adulthood, remain married to the games.
Oh, Jeff Swan.
Wow. Isn't that awesome?
Doggone it.
I've never written anything that well.
Right?
That's not true.
In my life.
And that's an iTunes review. That's amazing.
That's incredible.
Thank you, Jeff.
And I hope everything's going better with his wife. I think she had like a She had to go to the hospital
Yes.
this last
Yeah,
weekend.
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody's on the mend over there. Jeff, thank you, man. He's like
Yes.
one
That's
star.
amazing. Yeah, right.
One for every centennial celebration you've attended.
That's right.
That's hilarious. Thank you, Jeff. That's awesome.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you guys, what was your longest gaming session? That is what we asked, right? Yep, it is.
Yes.
Yep.
I didn't write it down. So I'm looking over at my notes. I'm like, are you a fanboy? That's like from 2 weeks ago.
What color is your bike? Is that it?
Exactly. Starting over on Twitter, Joey McPherson at JoeBoston617. I believe it was either The Last of Us or Uncharted 3. Both sucked me in. Both are great games. Beat Uncharted 3 in one sitting. Ayo, join the club. Started the game early AM, and when I finished, I looked at the clock and it was time for bed. I know
Nice.
that's right. Jeremy at Jeror45. 36 hours for me. Until my dad finally kicked me and my buddy off the computer. Master of Orion 2 is still a time destroyer. Nice. Graham at G Hammocks 14. Nowadays, I struggle to fit in an hour, but I remember in the PS2 era doing the endurance races in Gran Turismo, and they took hours.
Wow.
That's right. They did take a long time. I remember starting those at least. Let's see. Over on Facebook, Gabriel Anthony Marcano or Marcano or Marcano or Marcano.
Or Markin. Oh!
I like that one.
I like that one too. All-nighter with COD Modern Warfare 2 with the full squad. 14 hours straight. I had a
nice.
4-pack of Monster energy drinks. Oh, the good old days. I know that's right.
That's funny.
Mike Doherty, Dead Space 2 was a trophy. Dead Space 2 has a trophy called Hard to the Core, which requires you to beat the game on hardcore mode. Hardcore plus only 3 saves. I did it in one intense gaming session, about 10 hours, and only used 2 saves. It took the whole weekend for my adrenaline and caffeine levels to balance out.
Yeah, buddy.
Only doable in my bachelor days.
Good on you, man. Ooh, that is a tough game.
Yeah, it is. So on hardcore mode with only 3
I couldn't
saves.
imagine.
Yeah.
Could not imagine.
There you go. Spencer Stapleton, I once had an 8-hour boss fight. It was Final Fantasy X, and it was the end boss. I was underpowered, and it took about 1 hour each attempt, and it took me 8 attempts to beat it.
Wow. Good on you for staying with that.
Yes, I would have definitely, that would have been a rage quit in the
Rage
making.
quit. Yeah.
Wow.
Over on Discord, spam humbug. I started my first Extra Life gameplay right at midnight on the day of the event. I had missed that the actual start was 8 a.m. Once I realized the mistake, I decided to play through to the end of the scheduled time, 32 hours in total.
Yikes.
Nice.
Jeez Louise. We got a lot of Extra Life love here on the Discord. I love it. Here's another one from Jeff. Mario 64 for Extra Life 2015. All 120 stars in one sitting, clocking in at 22 hours and 37 minutes. However, I'm going to beat that this year for MTTG Extra Life 2018.
Ooh.
Hashtag for the kids. Hashtag plug Extra Life. Hashtag Eric Thompson. Hashtag rap horn. I don't know what that means.
Nice.
Let's see. Who else did we have on Discord? We'll go with Brian Armstrong. I wish I had a more exciting story, but my longest was back in high school. I got the new NCAA football game. I missed those so much. And played through an entire season in one sitting. I remember starting right when I woke up, probably around 10 a.m., and finally going to bed around 4 a.m. No regrets. Ooh wee. I love that. I love like hearing we've grown up in all these answers.
Yes.
Everything's like, oh yeah, I remember 10 years ago. Oh, I remember before I had kids. I love that. Thank you guys so much. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games. Come join the group, the MTTG community group. It's awesome. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Of course, marriedtothegames.com. You come buy a shirt or a mug. Soon to have phone cases when my schedule settles down. Like Ed said, youtube.com/married to the games. And if you want to support the show, you can go over to patreon.com/MTTG and hook your brothers up. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yay. And Router.
Rate us on iTunes, and we'll give you a quick tour of the MTTG house this week. Come along with us. Over here, you can see Chris fixing our leaky toilet. While in the living room, Ed is sitting on the floor 100%ing Lego Marvel's Avengers. Over here is our bloodshot-eyed Gabe taking care of his 30 sick children.
Theme music.
And down in the kitchen, Tim is enjoying that famous, sweet, sweet, delicious Philly cheesecake.
Good night.
That was really great, Tim.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Good job. I'm so glad I called on you.
I know, I was too. I'm like, oh crap! I hope this goes down all right.
I see Ed sitting on the floor.
Now I know what Tim does during the YouTube top 10.
Exactly.
I love it.
I got you, man. I got
That
you.
is
All good.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Well, let's get into some questions.
Let's hit up some Discord. Bobby Trice. Like the 4th of July and all the big fireworks, what video game has the best explosions?
Ooh.
Explosions.
Good question.
I've never played it, but I've got to imagine it's Just Cause.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, it
I was
has to be,
thinking. I'm
right?
the same. I've never played it, but there's explosions like crazy all over the trailers for that game.
Yeah, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Saints Row.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll go with that, or Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, did that
Nice.
have good explosions?
Yeah, that had some fun ones.
Nice.
I'm going Far Cry. I love the Far Cry explosions.
Nice.
There you go.
Chris,
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Gabe. I feel like it's got to be Just Cause. Yeah.
Oh, we have a voicemail.
oh, hit us up. Voicemail, go.
Hey guys, this is Mark II, aka Toofus from McKinney, Texas, and I've got a question for you. So recently I noticed on a few different podcasts, including Married to the Games, where people use the word feel when they probably should have used the word like think. And I'll give you an example. If I said, I feel like Nintendo's going to wait to announce some new game until closer to the holidays, a feeling is something related to an emotion, like being happy or sad or scared. So in this case, it's probably more correct to say, I think Nintendo is going to wait. Hashtag the more you know. But I also realized that I only noticed this because my wife is a psychologist and she's corrected me on using the word feel incorrectly in the past. So here's my question. Can you name something that you pay attention to now because it's something that your wife pays attention to, and before you were married, you probably never would have even noticed it? Thank you guys so much for taking my question. I love the podcast. You guys are awesome. Enjoy the week.
Nice.
Nice. Ooh, that's
I
a
feel
good
that
one,
someone's
too.
never dealt with ESP before.
Ooh.
I always thought of feel as like an intuition, like
Yeah, like a sense.
Right.
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. But good on you. I think before I was married, this is gonna sound terrible, but I'm gonna say
Awesome.
it anyway.
Feel it.
My wife is a cleaner. She cleaned houses all through high school. When I met her, she was cleaning Toby's studio for a side job. And so when I was a bachelor, my dishes in the sink definitely probably grew legs and moved themselves around a couple
Ooh,
times.
yeah, there you go.
So I definitely notice now a full sink of dishes. And then there's that struggle of like, let's go ahead and help the family out instead of just leaving them like I would have
Right.
12 years ago. Yes. So I would say dirty dishes. Chris?
In terms of things that Stacy had pointed out, and I kind of now I notice because she originally kind of showed it to me more, it's probably when the trash is full.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, now there's still maybe at times a difference of opinion as to what constitutes full.
Yeah,
like, we can push this thing down some more, so we still got some room in there. But I definitely feel like I pick up on that more nowadays than I did in the past. In the past, it's like, oh, something's on the floor. Oh, that thing's full, so now I need to go take that away. Yeah.
Nice. Ed?
I never would have noticed when Target has a very specific pair of black workout pants in stock.
Yeah.
They don't always carry.
Absolutely. You would never notice that, would you?
No.
You notice it now, though, eh?
No, I do. I'm like, oh, they're in stock. You better come get some.
Like, even when she's on the road, you're probably like texting her, hey, they're in stock this week.
That's funny.
Want me to grab a few pair for you?
Exactly. Timothy?
That's so funny. Like, mine's a little bit more on this, not serious, but like my wife showed me a little bit more on communication and just talking, and talking it out more. So she's from Jersey. She's, an Italian family, and they talk, and they'll talk, and they'll communicate, and it can be good or bad. And like 5 minutes, if you're arguing or whatever, 5 minutes later, then you're all having dinner together and laughing and whatever. So just being able to talk and communicate clearly, and I didn't really have that. Like, my family was a little bit more introverted, and we were,
push it
we
down
were
like
just
the trash.
Yeah, just a little bit. So she kind of brought that out, which is great.
There you go. I like that.
And the dirty dishes in the sink. There, I'll add that.
All right.
Oh, that was great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Spencer, just Spencer. His Discord ID now is just Spencer. Music can inspire us. It can help us through tough times, and it can act like a time machine. What is a band/artist that no matter where you are, it instantly transports you back in time? Where does it take you? For me, anytime I listen to Metallica's Black Album, it takes me back when I was 16, driving around with my friends in my 91 Geo Prism during the summer.
That's a
Nice.
good one.
I love that.
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, I've said this so much on the show, but I really did listen to a heavy amount of Black Sheep and the Fugees in the 90s. And for some reason, I don't know why, but when I hear those, even though I gamed a lot, it takes me back to almost anything Sega. And so it takes me back to Sonic and the Dreamcast for some strange reason. Those two things, because the guys, the friends that I played the Dreamcast with, they were huge into music as well. And so we would always sit around listening to music and playing video games. So I would say, almost anything Sega, Genesis, or the Dreamcast. Edward?
It's the same for me. You said Sega, and that reminded me when I first got my Genesis, it's also the same time I got my first CD player. And
interesting.
One of the first CDs I got was an album called Very by the Pet Shop Boys.
Ooh.
And because it was the only CD I had, I just had it on repeat and would play Sonic over and over again. And yeah, that takes me, as soon as you said Sega, I was like, ooh, Very by Pet Shop Boys.
Nice. Christopher?
I have mentioned this band on the show before, but it's Brand Van 3000, and their first album, Glee. I was introduced to them from a friend of mine in high school, and it was back when we used to have record stores. There was this one in the Metroplex that was really popular, and we went there one day, and he said, I found this band, and I've got to find this CD, and I'm sure it's going to be, the record store is called Bill's Records. It's like, it's got to be at Bill's. So we went there, and we picked it up, and then he found it, and then we were in my friend's convertible Mustang, and then we left there. He put it in the CD player, and we just drove around through downtown Dallas and going to all these places, listened to the entire CD. So every time I listen to that album, I'm instantly transported to being in the back of that convertible Mustang, looking up at the city and just checking things out. And it's so amazing. It's the only album where I'm literally when I hear certain songs, I can just see. It's like I'm looking at it again. It's crazy.
I love that.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Router?
The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill
Ooh.
takes me back
yeah.
to when Lauren and I got married. And I remember bumping it in our rental car in Hawaii on our honeymoon.
Hey, now this is a family
and
show.
And it was,
Jeez.
and it was awesome. It was so cool.
Nice.
I will always remember that album. Just listening to that all the time. It was great.
She's coming to town.
No, really?
She's doing the Miseducation tour because it's the 20th anniversary of that CD coming out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she's coming to Nashville, and I'm gonna miss it because we'll be on the road. So me and Toby are like looking at cities to fly to because we're
Oh
both
my
like,
gosh.
we have to go see this show.
Where is she playing? Here.
Like the Municipal Auditorium or something random. But she's playing
totally
Red
look-
Rocks in Denver, and I'm like,
wow.
I'm trying to go to that.
Yeah, you are.
Nice, good question. That's a great question.
Yeah, that was
That's
a
a good
great question. Brown sugar cinnamon Pop Tarts. This past year or
That'd be
so,
Patrick Knopfler.
Yeah.
that clearly, yes. This past year or so, I've been teaching myself how to use various programs like Audacity and Photoshop, and I found out early on that it's something I really enjoy. Maybe it's because I've done it all by myself. Having said that, what is something that you've taught yourself in the past that has brought you enjoyment and satisfaction?
I've really loved, and I know I don't know everything, and I want to take classes, but I've really enjoyed doing the voiceover thing.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's something with talking with Ed and just like other random people that love that but have no idea anything about it. You know, when I first started, I didn't know anything about voiceover, so you're just making up your demo and just thinking like, I think this is how it should sound, and things like that. And I've really enjoyed that without having any, real training as of yet. I've really loved doing voiceover.
You need to go to Voice Tracks, brother, so bad.
I know.
You would love it. Oh,
I got these
I wanna
kids
go
that
back.
want
I
to
miss
eat
it.
3 times a day. You know, they want to eat
Yeah, I
3
know,
times a
right?
day.
it's so
No,
annoying.
it's ridiculous.
I hate it.
What about you, Chris?
Most of the various types of editing that I do are all, for the most part, self-taught. I mean, I definitely will watch a tutorial here and there and whatnot, but I didn't go to school for it or have any formal training. And that's not just on the video side, but it's also on the photo side as well. I pretty much just learned it all as I went. And I remember the first time I got Photoshop 6 and then just trying to figure out, like, how do I add a shadow to this thing? Of course, back then it wasn't to edit photos like that I had taken necessarily. It was more to do all the weird, crazy, make meme pictures and whatnot. But yeah, learning all that stuff has been a lot of fun and brought me a lot of satisfaction.
There you go. Timmy?
Awesome. Yeah, man. I learned web development and website design on my own because I didn't go to school for it, because back when I was in school, the internet wasn't around. Carry on with the old man jokes if you'd like. I'm setting you up for it.
Easy.
I know it is too easy.
When you're first putting shadows on stone.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, if I chisel it like this, it looks like he's standing in front of something.
Exactly. And so, yeah, that's my livelihood.
That old blur was hard to do on them stones, Doc.
He had to think back to when he saw the first shadow.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
When he was doing Jesus, his senior picture. He's like, oh man, Jesus had a pimple that I had to get off of this stone.
I had to Photoshop Jesus' pimple off of his senior picture.
When God created light, and he was like, I see a shadow.
He's like, well, this is gonna mess everything up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay,
He's
good.
like, oh, grass is green? I thought it was black this whole time. Thanks for the light.
Color. Yay.
Yeah. Tim misses the null and void days.
I miss the black and white days.
Yeah,
It's so
formless.
Having to reconstruct the Tower of Babel in the background.
Trying to interpret everybody too, because all the languages got all mixed up.
Different languages, would you?
Hey, I suggested that to God. It was just a suggestion. He didn't have to go through with it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so website design. I taught myself that, and
There
that's
you
my
go.
living. And so I absolutely love it. And yes, it brings me huge enjoyment and satisfaction.
There you go. Ed?
Of course, that was right after God had created spiders, and it was spider web design.
Ah!
Oh, snap. Nice.
Yes. Ed.
Hashtag dad jokes.
I like it.
I'm gonna. It's very similar to Chris's video editing. For me, I just bought a program and taught myself, and it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed
Good, man.
progressing from very simple programs to the advanced ones. It's been fun.
There you go. I like that. Good
That's
question.
awesome.
Yeah,
Very
that's a
good
good
question. Thank you, Brown Sugar Cinnamon Pop-Tarts.
Good question.
So great.
Yeah.
I know, right?
This show is brought to you by Brown Sugar
Brown
Cinnamon
Sugar Cinnamon
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts. Yep. Flexel, did you buy anything from the Steam Summer Sale? If not, what are you waiting for?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't even know what was going on.
I had
didn't
no
either.
idea. I'm waiting for the Steam Summer Sale to come to console.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
PlayStation
It'll be
hits. There you go.
That's
The
right.
steamy Summer Sale on console.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, no, I didn't buy anything either. I didn't even look at it.
Nice.
Looking
Don
at it
Star
now.
Lancer. Yep,
Yeah.
looking at it now. Don Star Lancer, if you could make a game starring a loved one, who would it be and what type of game would they star in?
Ooh,
Isn't that good? Ooh, I love this
that's a
one.
good question. I think I'd make a scary game with Remy.
Oh, sweet Lord. That would be
Only
awesome.
because I think kids in scary stuff is uber scary. And I don't know. He's just got the right attitude for it, I think.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want
He'd
to put
just be
Amara
going,
in
no,
there.
no, 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 the
Yeah,
whole time.
exactly. So,
funny.
what about you, Chris?
I would make a video game with Stacy, and I would just make her a hero of some sort.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
just
the
think
sweetest
she,
thing
Man.
she
ever.
would do just all the sweetest things in the world, and I could just seeing her being all like, "Ha!" Because she'll do those things right now when we're playing Overwatch. She'll do something. She'll be like, "Ha ha! Got you!" And all this, all these lines I could just have in my head. It's like, yeah, that could be
that's so great.
superhero lines for sure.
Yeah, you already have the audio files all ready for her VO.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
great.
Tim?
Yeah, mine would probably be Piper doing some sort of platformer game involving unicorns.
There you go. That makes perfect sense.
It could
Doesn't
be.
it?
It could be a trivia game. Piper's topic of the week.
Or, yeah, how many
Ooh.
Piper... Ooh, that's good. I like that, too.
Right.
What am I into now?
Did we have a topic of the week this week?
Yeah, it was the wedding. Did I
Oh,
not say
what?
that in the
I don't
beginning?
think you
Piper's
did.
topic.
No.
Wow, Piper's topic of the week was, yes, of course, the wedding. There it is.
There you go. Nice.
Thank you.
Ed?
Yeah, it would probably be Sarah with some kind of parkour fighting game.
Ooh,
that'd be awesome.
Mirror's Edge.
Yeah,
Ooh,
definitely.
even
definitely.
better.
Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
Okay, you guys,
Mirror's Edge.
keep running on this wall.
Yep.
Exactly.
You got this. I believe in you. Go.
Seriously.
2 more
We
sets.
fit- We fit with Sarah Placentia.
Yep.
You can have some pizza. It's okay. Just keep running. That's so great. Great question. Thank you for that. BDog1221, Thanos versus Killmonger for best villain. Why do you have? Who do you have and why?
Thanos.
Thanos.
I have
right?
Thanos only because he's just a larger
Thanos.
scale villain. But that's not to say that I didn't enjoy Killmonger as a villain as well.
You know, I didn't like Killmonger as much. I felt like he was a little one note for me.
Who is
He was-
Killmonger?
He was the
He
bad
was the
guy in
villain.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Oh, Thanos.
Yeah, I just felt like, and listen, I love Michael B. Jordan, but it just felt like he was just angry. Where I felt like Thanos, you felt like the whole range of emotions when it came to Thanos,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he's just stronger.
Yeah, definitely. Isn't
Yeah,
Thanos
I think
a god?
well, not
Something
really,
like
but
that.
yeah, kind of.
Sort of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But he's got,
especially when he has the gauntlet. I mean, he's
Yeah, just
basically
snap his
God.
fingers.
And
Yeah,
I don't,
of course.
I don't know if Killmonger had any like Thanos has like actual powers, and I know
Yeah, Killmonger
Killmonger
did not.
kind of does, but not really. Like in the
Yeah.
comics, he did a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, the only thing, at least in the I'm just going off cinematic universe stuff. So comic wise, I have no idea who Killmonger was before the movie. I just think out of all of the villains in the entire MCU thus far, I feel like he's had the most legit motivation and reasoning behind it. And
Yes.
I just liked that arc. That was a
Yeah,
different
definitely.
way to go besides just like, oh
Exactly.
man, you stole my job, or oh man, I got mutated. Now I'm gonna do bad things.
Doggone it, I got mutated.
Doggone it,
dang
you
it.
stole my job. I haven't seen any. I didn't know there was any evil villains whose that was their hang up.
That's right.
You stole my.
I really wanted that IT job, dang it.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna kill a whole city.
I knew I shouldn't have had my resume in Comic Sans font.
Sans, exactly. Helvetica, always Helvetica. Raw! Rage can kill an entire city. That's awesome.
That's funny.
That was good. Okay, Dante's Belmont. Why is the sky blue?
Because it's
Oh,
the best
Lord.
color.
Because the atmosphere.
Because the water's blue.
Sunlight reaches Earth's atmosphere and is scattered in all directions by all the gases and particles in the air.
Nerd.
Blue light is scattered in all directions by the tiny molecules of air in the Earth's atmosphere. Blue is scattered more than other colors because it travels as shorter, smaller waves. This is why we see a blue sky most of the time.
Ah.
Band.
And that was so perfect.
But is Dante banned or is Tim banned?
I think both.
Yeah, both of y'all.
Oh, Dante.
That sounded both to me.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, that sounded definitely both to me. All right, Facebook, Brett T. Bodden. In honor of you guys recording on a rare Taco Tuesday, what is your favorite style of taco and must-have toppings? For me, it's taco salad and avocado.
Oh man, I actually have an answer to this. We just got a restaurant here called Mojo Taco.
It is delicious.
Oh my gosh. And
So
I cannot get away from the fried chicken tacos and the brisket tacos. Are
Yeah, man.
insanely good. Like,
Yep.
you ever eat something and then you're just mad when it's done? And you're like,
Yep.
no, I want like 3 more bites of that. That's
Yep.
how I feel every single time I go to Mojo's. Oh, it's so
Mojo's
good.
is so good. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy it's there.
Yes. Chris, you have a favorite?
I don't have a particular one because I've only been to a few taco places where they have, fancy dancy tacos, and they've all been good. Like, what was the one out there in Brentwood? Local
Local taco.
Yeah, I
man.
went to that
It's
one. That was
delicious.
great. I didn't get a chance to go to Mojo. I really wanted to, but it just never worked out.
Next
And
time.
there's various taco places around here, and then we've actually Stacy's made a few really awesome ones from Blue Apron before. The only thing that I can really say that I
With her
specifically
cape on?
Oh yeah, with her cape on, you're like, ha ha, take that taco.
Yeah. Ha-ha.
The only thing that I can say though is I'm not a hard taco person. I definitely prefer soft tacos.
Oh,
There you go.
interesting.
Yeah.
Edward?
Yeah.
I love fish, but I'm not a fish taco fan. But other than that, I'll take any taco you want to give me. They're all amazing to me.
There you have it.
I kind of agree with you on that one because I can do a hard or soft taco, but I do prefer a nice flour tortilla. And then it has to have some guac on there somewhere. It's got to be. I do like throw some rice and some chicken on there too. I do.
Yeah.
I want it spicy, so give me a little hot sauce in there too.
So let me ask you guys this. Now that we kind of gone down this alley and tacos might be on the docket today.
Yeah, man.
Taco or burrito?
Yes.
No, I'm going burrito. If it's between
Yes.
the two, it's always going to be burrito for me.
Yeah,
Tim?
me too.
I'm going taco, man, because I can have several of them versus just one big brick of a burrito.
Oh, that's
I
good.
I
that's
go
a
with
good
burrito
thought.
for the opposite reason because it's one big brick.
But I get different style of tacos though, so I don't have just one
Yeah, that's
style
true.
of taco.
You get
So
different tastes.
have more variety.
You really can't go wrong either direction. But yeah,
You really
that's
can't.
true.
I agree.
Totally agree.
Agree.
I'm going burrito as well. Good sub question.
Yeah, that's great.
Sub
Yeah.
question.
Good pat on the back, Gabe. Well done. Brian Niebel. Here we go.
Hey, road crew.
Road crew. Reality has torn, and you have crossed over into an alternate universe and met yourself. What is your alternate self doing with their life? What's their job? What do they like to do, eat, pass the time?
Ooh. I want
Jeez.
to believe that my alternate self really chased down the theater thing and I'm just extremely flamboyant and trying to be in every play possible.
You're on Broadway, brother. You're on Broadway.
Yes, I don't know if I made it to Broadway, but that was the dream. Like that's not Gabe's actual dream. Like my dream was not to be on Broadway, but in this alternate reality, I really wanted to be on Broadway. And I'm probably single.
With no kids.
Ed?
Yeah. He's single. He's really good at the piano.
Yes.
And he sings every week. He's underappreciated though, but he's really good. People give him a lot of tips.
Nice. He's underappreciated.
Ed,
I love
speaking
it.
of, has anybody, and hopefully this is not offensive or anything like that, but has anybody ever told you that you remind them of Fred Armisen?
No, and I kind of wish they would, because I get people who tell me.
Yes, he does look a lot like
I
Fred
remind them of
Armisen.
someone. I don't see it, but in my head, I'm like, I feel like I kind of look like Fred Armisen, but I don't know if that's true because no one's ever said it.
We've been watching Portlandia, like back from season 1, and me and Ginny are both like, oh, that is Ed.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
And I love Fred Armisen.
I do too.
Okay, I just know who this is. Yeah.
I can totally see that. I can totally see that.
Sorry, only because of your, that just, everything you said just then sounded like something Fred Armisen would say.
So
The
funny.
underappreciated little ad there is
Yeah.
what took it over
That
the
was
edge
perfect.
for me. He's underappreciated, but he's really good. That's really funny. Chris?
I would have become a huge blockbuster actor, but at the same time, I'd be one of those ones that also was in a band and could sing, and my hands worked correctly, and I could play guitar like crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be
So you'd be
cool.
Jared Leto?
Jared- I
Yeah,
was just gonna
essentially,
say
yeah,
Jared
never
Leto.
aging, always looking,
Yeah,
always
seriously.
looking phenomenal.
Never
That
aging.
Joker.
Haha. I get it.
I don't know. Every time I see a picture of him, I just like stare for an extra 5 seconds. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I like it. Tim, what would you be doing?
I would be on stage at E3 telling everybody about the next big game I've developed.
There you go.
Oh, look at you.
Nice.
I was hoping you were
in
going
it?
to say submarine pilot.
So why?
No, because it's
Submarine pilot? Where in the world did that come from?
random and really funny, and it'd be just throw everybody for a left.
I'd be a clown in a circus submarine.
Oh, like Lim. Lim went to clown school.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
What did
Lim
he?
went to clown.
Yeah.
Lim went to clown college. Yeah.
Clown.
It all makes
Hey,
sense
can I
now.
change mine? I'd be in clown college with Lem because that would be amazing.
With alternate universe Lim.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be incredible.
He wouldn't be a clown though. Alternate universe Lim would be an accountant.
Submarine.
He'd be like extremely violent. In and out of jail all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Alternate-
Multiple face tattoos.
Yeah, Lim would be in jail.
He'd totally be in jail.
Like
For
6'2".
gangbang.
He'd be so hard. Dude, what's up?
Exactly.
Why you looking at me?
That is so funny. Oh, submarine. Whatever. All right, cool.
Submarine pilot.
That's
Submarine
so funny.
pilot. That works. I'll do that too. Either one.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, all right. Final question over on Twitter. Marcus Suominen at Captain Makasu. I hope I said that right. Is there any plans / wishes to have a special guest on the show? I'm thinking in the lines of at Game Over Greggy from at Kind of Funny Vids. That'd be kind of cool to have Greg on.
You know what's funny? I actually talked back and forth with Greg. How long ago was that, Chris?
It was a while.
2 years ago about getting him on the show. And he said he would do it. And then we stopped emailing each other.
Yep, there you go.
I need to email him. It's always in the way back of my mind. Like I need to have Greg over. I need to have Greg on the show. I need to have Greg on the show. But when we talked, it was when he was making the transition from IGN to Kind of Funny.
It's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
so that was
So it was
longer.
like
that was like
a little
30
busy.
years or so ago.
Super. Yeah, it might have been a long time, longer than that. So it was a super busy time, and so yeah, I need
Gabe's
to.
like, I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, would you come on the show? He's like, yes. I'm like, sweet. Anyway,
Great. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
I
No,
figured.
Now I
Marcus,
know
if
the
you have
answer.
not-
Don't have to ask that again.
if you have not heard the Troy Baker interview from just a couple weeks back, please listen to that. It is so good.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah, I don't know.
It was,
I don't-
it was
I mean,
awesome.
Our show format, I don't know, and the fact that we're often recording at 5:30 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know if a guest like on the show as we record is ever going to be a thing. You know, never say never,
Yes.
but
Right.
probably would be like more akin to the interviews.
The
that,
interview.
that, you know, these guys that
Yeah,
know how to
they
do
would
that
definitely
have
be
done
pre-recorded. Yeah, they would definitely have to be pre-recorded.
Yeah, Tim, who would you like to see on the show or interviewed?
Man, you already have it. I've always wanted Troy Baker, and we got him, and it was so good. I've listened to that, and just it was. I actually like stopped working and just sat in front of my computer and listened to it, and just enjoyed every second of it. It was awesome. So you already nailed it for me, brother. Thank you.
Oh yeah, man. Thank the Lord.
Yep.
Ed, what about you? Who would you like to see on the show or interviewed? You've interviewed some cool people.
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
Yeah,
I've chatted with but as far as like having a special guest on, I think it would be someone, I don't know, maybe someone who's like Letterman, or someone who's also like a host.
Yes.
And just kind of have them on. So not necessarily someone from a gaming aspect, but someone who is a broadcaster.
There you
Fallon
go.
would be fun too. Fallon would be fun.
Yeah.
You know who's funny? I've thought about hitting up. Not that I have any connections with him whatsoever, but I'd love to talk with, and it might only be a 5-minute conversation, which is fine. But I'd really actually love to talk to Conan about the Clueless Gamer thing and how that came to be, and what he thinks of it.
Good
and
idea.
stuff like that. I've always thought about like trying to find if I know anybody that knows anybody over there to
Right.
see if he would do something like that.
Make it happen, Gabe.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll work on it. Chris?
So 2 years ago when we went to E3, Gabe and I split off to go over to the something Coliseum to see Kojima get interviewed, and he was interviewed by Jordan Vaught Roberts, and I think that dude is really cool. Now I have not seen a ton of his
You
movies.
talking about Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan. I would want to have him on because he's just like he's a movie director. He grew up loving video games. He's the one that, if it's ever going to actually happen, is in line to direct the Metal Gear movie. I mean, he just seems, he is so much into the things that we're into. But I'm not skilled at interviewing, and I don't know like all of his backstory, so I wouldn't have the right things to ask. So, but if I could like have all those things in this fantasy world where I can interview people, as good as you guys can, and I knew all this stuff about him, I would love to just pick that guy's brain and chat with him for a while. I think he seems so cool.
Who's the guy from Bethesda that stole E3?
Todd
Howard?
Yes. I'd like to have him. He'd be.
That would be awesome.
Gosh, he was great.
He
Jeez
was.
Louise. I don't know if it was just that. I don't know if it's that he's great or that he was great in comparison to everyone else.
Right.
He presented everything beautifully, though.
But I thought he was just so good.
It was smooth. It was effortless, and he was funny too. And
And he seemed like he meant it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope so.
Yeah. But some people can just come across like they're reading. He was obviously reading, but like it also felt like it meant something to him.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
That's it for the questions. Thanks, everybody.
Oh yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Those are
Thanks.
good.
Oh wait, Gabe, you didn't answer. I'm sorry.
What was what?
The special guest on the show. Who would you want? Or no,
Oh
you did.
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never
I
mind.
said somebody.
Yeah, great.
It comes
Somebody on a submarine.
and goes this early in the morning. Right after I say it, I don't really know what it was anymore.
Right. It just blurts out.
Yeah. Let's go with Nick Offerman. I'm just kidding.
Perfect.
The question of the week for you guys is, does your family game? Is there anybody in your family that games as well as you do? Give them a shout out. We want to know who's gaming in your family. Chris, you got anybody in your family that games? We know Stacy games.
Yeah, Stacy games, my nephews game. Both of my brothers will game to a bit, not nearly to the
Your
level that
nephew,
they did.
gamer _______.
Yeah, one of them.
3785.
Yeah, Tristan's got a crazy name, and I even made him a new one. I was like, "This one's better. Use this," and he still likes to use the other one. Well, I tried,
awesome.
and I opened the door. It's up to you to walk through it. So
Exactly.
when you're 2 years older from now, you'll be like, "Why did I not use that? Why did I not buy all these games and skins and tie it to that gamer tag that my uncle smartly made for me?"
Uncle Brett fan for the win.
Yep.
Yeah, but I have other nieces and nephews that will play games as well, and then my brother-in-law, he likes to stream on Twitch as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very cool.
Ed?
Yeah, Sarah enjoys games. We're getting ready to get into the Lego Incredibles, and so looking forward to that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
My sister and her family, they do a little bit of gaming. Our nieces.
Is that the Tapmans?
No, but the Tapmans are also as well. Jamie Okiwali.
Which side of the family is that? Oh, that's right.
That's Sarah's side.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and then two of Sarah's brothers are super good gamers. One of them is one of the highest ranked League of Legends guys that you'll find. So
Oh, that's right. I remember
he
you
does a
saying
lot of that Twitch streaming and stuff as well. So yeah, a little bit.
That's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. Tim?
Nope. No, I'm kidding. No, my nephew, Liam does do some gaming because I gave him my old PlayStation 4, and so he's been really enjoying that. And but other than that, not really. No.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. Like, none of my family games. I
Marcel
know that
doesn't game?
Yeah, not even your brother?
Marcel used to game. And so when he lived with a guy that had a console, then he would, like, every now and then play Rocket League. But he does enjoy gaming, but he just doesn't game.
Okay.
And then my nephew, my brother's son in Oakland, he games that I know of. And I think that's it. Like, obviously, Jenny, I've talked about it before. Jenny gamed when she was pregnant with Amara and got really good at Dr. Mario and Mario Kart. But outside of that, doesn't do any gaming. She doesn't do any, mobile, anything like that. And so I'm kind of like the lone guy. Me and my nephew are the only ones that like actually play on a regular basis. That's what I'm trying to do, man. Doggone it. I must not be making it look good. That's the problem. So yeah, do you guys have people in your family that games? We know obviously our community does, but sometimes we don't always know who's around you and who's gaming. So shout them out, man, next week, and we'll read them out and talk about it. Man, 302 in the books. Thank you to my co-hosts for switching the days up, because I leave tonight and I'll be gone until Sunday. Whoosh. And so there wasn't a good opportunity to get in another podcast this week. So thank you guys for switching it up till Tuesday for me.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And we made it.
Yeah, we did.
We made it. We made it.
We made it. We
made
made
it. Side now.
Yeah, we are. I am Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is the soon-to-be in Gabe Patillo's arms, Chris McCracken.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wow.
Ooh.
And we, and Stacy too. Everybody's getting hugs. Everybody. No one is going unhugged.
There we go.
And we are married to the games.
If I don't say anything, it's more awkward.
All right, exactly.
So I'm not saying anything.
And we're about this thing. Peace!
I'm going to just leave you with your own words.
I know. Thanks a lot.
You just sit and think about what you've said.